Good morning, class. So today we start with the Peninsular Plateau. I want you to open up to page number 76. An area of land projecting out into the sea or completely surrounded by water on its three sides is known as a peninsula. The Peninsular Plateau of India is one such landmass that extends over an area of almost 13 lakh square kilometers. River Narmada and River Tapi flowing east to west divide the landmass into Malwa Plateau in the northwest and Deccan Plateau in the south. Let us quickly go to the map given over here. I have marked River Narmada and Tapi. Now children, of all the rivers of the Deccan Plateau, only Narmada and Tapi. And let us, not even talk about the rivers of the Deccan Plateau. All major Indian rivers, only Narmada and Tapi, they flow into the Arabian Sea, whereas the rest of the rivers, whether rivers of the north or the south, they drain into the Bay of Bengal. Now first coming to Malwa Plateau. The Malwa Plateau lies between the Aravalis in the north and Vindhyas in the south. See, Aravali range, you see Mount Abu and Guru Shikhar being the highest point of Aravali range. Mount Abu is part of Aravali range. Vindhya in the south, Aravali in the north. Now, the Vindhyas rise abruptly from the Narmada Valley. So, named after the Narmada River, this valley is known as the Narmada Valley. The Satpura range, which lies further to its south, separates it from the Deccan Plateau in the central part. So just below Vindhya range, we see the Satpura range, right, which separates it from the Deccan Plateau in the central part. The eastern extension of the Malwa Plateau is known as Bundelkhand, which covers, see, Bundelkhand is not marked over here. Now Bundelkhand is UP and MP. Then we have an Baghelkhand in southern UP. That is, northeastern part of Madhya Pradesh is Baghelkhand and southeastern part of Uttar Pradesh is also falls under Baghelkhand. The whole region slopes towards the north and gradually merges with the northern plains. So when we are talking about the Malwa Plateau, the states covered are central Madhya Pradesh and southeastern Rajasthan. So when we are talking about Malwa Plateau, it is southeastern Rajasthan and central Madhya Pradesh. Now coming to Chota Nagpur Plateau. In the east of the Malwa Plateau, there are actually a series of plateaus of different elevations. Now they are on different heights, together known as the Chota Nagpur Plateau. A fault known as Damodar Trough. It is not marked over here, children. The Damodar Trough is not marked over here. A fault known as Damodar Trough is the characteristic feature of it. This plateau is the oldest geographical division associated with many mineral deposits, some of which have been mined since ancient times. So this area is very rich in different mineral deposits. The deposits of Gondwana, coal, iron ore, manganese, bauxite and mica make this part an important center of steel producing centers of India. Now when we are talking about Chota Nagpur Plateau, the states covered are Jharkhand, that is the central Jharkhand, northwestern part of Chhattisgarh and Odisha. Now coming to Deccan Plateau. The Deccan Plateau lies south of the river Narmada and slopes gradually to the east. See, it slopes gradually towards the east. Therefore, all these rivers, when we are talking about Godavari, Krishna, Tungabhadra, all these rivers, they cut through the eastern ghats and drain into the Bay of Bengal. The average elevation here is 600 meter. It is, the Deccan Plateau is not so high. Average elevation is just 600 meter. The plateau is triangular in shape. This we can already see. widest in the north and extends up to the southern tip of the Indian peninsula. The northwest portion of the plateau adjoining Madhya Pradesh and Gujarat is covered by horizontal sheets of lava and is called Deccan Trap, meaning to say steps. The plateau is tilted towards east, forming eastward slopes. Reason why these major rivers, they drain into the Bay of Bengal. Now, it is of volcanic origin and is made up of basaltic lava rocks. The Deccan Plateau is covered by black and red soil from its top. A number of rivers like Godavari, Krishna, its longest tributary Tungabhadra is here, children, and Kaveri drain this plateau from west to east. So they are flowing from west to east. Now, the states covered are Telangana, Maharashtra, Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, Kerala and Tamil Nadu. Now coming to the Ghats. The peninsular plateau is bordered in the west and east by scarps called Ghats. Ghat is a Hindi word, like the sloping banks of a river. Now scarps, one side the elevation is very steep, whereas the other side the slope is gentle. They are typical of both western and eastern sides of the plateau. The two Ghats converge at the Nilgiri. So these are the Nilgiri hills. Towards the Arabian Sea we see the western Ghats. Towards the Bay of Bengal we see the eastern Ghats. They all converge at Nilgiris. Now, do you know important over there? A scarp is a fall thrown off as a steep cliff by displacement of escarpment or steeply sloped long cliff. So please learn this as definition. Western Ghats. The plateau has a steep scarp along its western side known as the Western Ghats. They are relatively higher in the south. Stretching from the river Tapi to Kanyakumari for about 1600 kilometers. So I showed you river Tapi over here to Kanyakumari. The Western Ghats comprise the Sahyadri, the Nilgiris, the Annamalai and the Cardamom hills. So you see the Cardamom hills, you see the Nilgiris. Sahyadri is not shown over here. No, it is not shown. They have only marked the Nilgiri and the Sahyadri, and then Analmudi, Dedabhatta, that is the highest peak of south, Dodabhatta is marked over there. Sorry children. Now coming back to the paragraph. The average height of the Western Ghats is 1200 meter, but peaks may rise up to 2500 meter. The highest peak is Anaimuri, which lies in Kerala. So this is Anaimuri 2695 and Dodabetta, it is 26. Here it is written 2670 children, but here later on in the paragraph it is written 2637 meter. We'll have to check up this fact once again. The Eastern Ghats lie along the eastern coast and are lower than the Western Ghats. The hills in the region have been eroded over the centuries by the number of rivers which drain into the Bay of Bengal. The Eastern Ghats join the Nilgiris, where the second highest peak of south, that is Dodabetta, lies. A number of rivers flow across the Deccan Plateau and cut the Eastern Ghats to flow into the Bay of Bengal. The east flowing rivers are Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna and Kaveri. We have already seen these rivers on the map. Now coming to the Great Indian Deserts. It is located in Rajasthan and northern fringe. It is spread over 200,000 square kilometer. To its east lies the Aravalli. So we are talking about the Great Indian Desert, also known as the Thar Desert. Right. Now, this desert region is a fairly flat and a low-lying area with an extensive sandy dunes. Please make that correction, DUNES, and merging in the west with the Sindh Desert of Pakistan. In this region, rainfall is less than 25 centimeter in a year. The region is dry and arid. And River Luni, an inland drainage, flows through the region. There are several saltwater lakes like Sambar and Pushkar. Sambar Lake is the largest inland saltwater lake of India. Indira Gandhi Canal, drawing water from river Satluj, has changed some parts of desert into fertile stretches, and agriculture is flourishing over there. So children, now we are left with the coastal plains, which we'll take up in the next class. As of now, I want you to give the plateaus, the Malwa Plateau, the Chota Nagpur Plateau, the Deccan Plateau and the Ghats a thorough study. Anything which you have not understood, please note it down and we'll discuss it when the school reopens. Or you can even post your queries on the school app. Thank you and God bless you.